Hey guys, welcome back to another Redline Tuesday. I'm IntroducingEmy. This is kind of a different intro, I guess, because we've had a lot of new people lately. So what a Redline Tuesday is, just real quick for all my newbies, is that I just kind of go over anatomy or technique or whatever is asked of me, and people send in their art, and we have a lot of fun, and it comes out every Tuesday, and it's a Redline Tuesday. So this one is by DinkyDins at tumblr.com. And they have really good art, if you can tell. The painting is fantastical. And they just asked me to go over their anatomies. And I'm actually going to flip it like I usually do because I've been looking at this angle for a while now. So, it's pretty obvious. This one's really nice. I like this drawing. So we are just going to be cleaning up the anatomy on it. I am considering painting on it a little bit, but I really don't want to, I guess, because it wasn't asked of me to actually like correct the drawing, just to like go over the anatomy. So I'm just gonna be going over the anatomy. So here's one thing. So using kind of like the waist area as a guide, this is kind of the curve you have echoing through your drawing. So this is kind of like your perspective curve, like all the other curves are going to kind of echo that. So if you follow that same curve from this knee over, this one's sticking out quite a bit. And part of that, I think, is because in the original, he has a little bit of a badonkadonk over here, like he has a butt, but the butt doesn't really follow through on this side. There's like a little space here. So if you kind of follow that curve and use the other butt as a guide, the knee is just a little bit shorter. And actually, oops. I would recommend, actually I'm going to kind of do something a little quick and dirty here and see if I like it, and if I don't, we'll do something else. I'm actually going to just use the transform tool to pull it out to actually pull this knee out to match pretty close to where the other one was. And I do like that a bit more, because like his arms are kind of longer at, like, I'm trying to think how to explain this. It just, his legs almost look too short for his body. In the way that I corrected it down to the shorter leg. I think it would actually look better if you corrected it to the longer leg, is what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. And then his shoulder would be here. Another thing is this is sticking out too far. his foot and like lower calf and ankle-y area sticking out too far. Um, so like when somebody's sitting on their knees, their foot actually, their heel touches their butt like that, and their foot like barely comes out past their butt cheek. The same thing with the arms. If a person has their arms bent, the wrist, actually, yeah, the hand, the top of the fingers barely goes past the shoulder. So humans fold up pretty compact and neat. Excuse me, I am just coughing so much today. I don't know what's going on with me. So, how you choose to draw this foot is kind of up to you, and even I am not the greatest at drawing this kind of a pose where like the feet are kind of like foreshortened and upside down, and yeah. So if I was going to do this image, I would probably have his booted feet turned inwards like that. And so like from the back, this is his behind. His feet are like this. And then his legs are out like that. Okay? Without like going and sitting in boots, I can't really say like what would be the most comfortable, but that is my recommendation. I'm actually also going to layer via cut. I want to see what this would look like. Just doing some thinking. Just looking at some things. Yeah, actually, I think that's about all. The legs were the only thing that really stuck out to me as like an anatomy issue. Even the arms. This one arm here. Oops. This arm here just is like a little like pulled off of the body. Like there's like this gap right here on the original, but that's not even that big of a deal. Fixed very easily. But yeah, I think just tucking this foot in helps to have these match a little more. But you know, hold on one second. Something's not right, and this is making me a very frowny Emmy. Um, you could do that actually. You could have him sitting up on his feet a little more. I think that's, I don't know. Terrible anatomy givers, terrible. Maybe something like that. I guess where my issue, like I think what's throwing me off is how far he is from the ground. So I'm like a little, I guess that is okay. It's just, I don't know, maybe it's just, I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me today. It looks fine. Looks fine like that. Let's just keep it like that, and that'll be his heel. There we go. Yeah, I like it. I always say that at the end. I like it. But no, I do. I like it. Okay, now I'm just playing. Yeah, but I think that foot was the only thing that I could find me a problem without looking at a reference. This is kind of like the best I can do for the heel. To be honest, that's even kind of an awkward position for me, but I can at least tell you that it doesn't, the foot wouldn't extend out beyond the butt. Not that far anyway. So, if you bring that in, and if you painted this into this, like if I kind of just did it roughly here, like if I yeah, you could even leave those there. But if you painted that to match better than Emmy can paint it to match. I think it would look, you know, better than just like how I have drawn it, which kind of looks a little stumpy, but I swear to you that is kind of what it would look like. You'd have to find references of somebody kneeling or sitting on their knees in boots to get a better idea, but it would probably most likely be the back of the heel that you would be seeing there. Okay, and that will do it for this one. Thank you to Dinky Dins for their amazing painting. This painting is so pretty. I love these colors, so I love it. Looks good. Keep it up. Keep doing that. All of this. Keep it going. Alright? Okay. Bye! Okay, we're actually back with another one here. I looked at my recording time and I decided that wasn't enough. So we're going to do one more red line for today. And that is going to be from crazywolfgirl.deviantart.com. A couple of crazy guys. I swear I'm spelling that right. Anyway, so I thought this was cute. I wanted to do it. We're doing it. Here we go. I should have probably set this up a little better before I got started here. Whoop. Just grab color, set that to screen. There. Okay. Let's get going. Yeah, I wanted to to do something a little more. And I thought this would be a pretty good one. Got a lot of interesting stuff going on here. So first we're going to start with the horse. Disclaimer, I do not draw horses or animals that walk on four legs too often, so I'm probably not like the ultimate person to go to for this, but I do know a thing or two. So, animals are like beans. Good way to start the tutorial here. Where there's usually a front part, and there's back part, and then you've got some connective parts. And then, you know, depending on what kind of head and neck you put on that, you get all kinds of weird looking stuff. Okay? So, animals are beings at their core. I am actually going to make this underlayer a little lighter. Okay, had to be able to see what I was doing there. And then we are going to straighten up some of the legs here, the hoofies, if you will. So I'm just going to do a rough line here, here. So this little box, this little trapezoidal box that I'm drawing down here, is to help with placement of the hooves. And this will help keep everything kind of on the same plane. So that the horse doesn't look like it's like falling over or behind her or in front of her, like, you know, back here or up here. You know what I'm saying? Because just where the feet are placed compared to where the feet of the horse are placed to where the feet of the girl are placed, you can force the viewer to think that the feet are actually shifted back or forwards, and you know. So yeah, I have very limited horsiness in my belt, so to speak. I used to draw My Little Ponies when I was younger. That was probably some of the last horses I've drawn in a long time. I was not one of those girls who was like, OMG horses. I was not like a big horse girl growing up, but like every other girl I knew loved horses, man. I was not one of those girls. So I'm kind of drawing the hooves a little more cutesy than I think I normally would. That's only just because of the nature of the picture. These aren't the most realistic looking hooves, but I'm trying to keep everything sort of schmoopy, schmoopy doopy. So I'm doing a little more like upward curves than I think you would want to do for like a realistically drawn horse. So, let's see. I guess you could leave that smaller. So when you draw really cutesy crap, I shouldn't have said it like that. When you draw cute stuff, you should keep everything really curvy. Like nothing should end at an angle. Like even the hooves I try to keep really soft and rounded, like little baby feet. So like for the tail, I would do lots of curves to build it up. And then from there break it into smaller swirls or platelets or however you want to style the horse, just to keep it swooshy and whooshy and look at all these great technical terms, but to keep it really soft. Okay, let's do the horse's eye. Same thing with the mane. I would really exaggerate some of these shapes. You don't have to do this, but to keep up sort of like the rhythm of the drawing. Okay. And then let's do the little girl in a different color so that when we put the two images together we can see the difference. There's a dog barking out there. I apologize. Let's do her in, not that blue. I hope you guys can see this okay. I should mention that this is kind of a smallish image that I didn't resize, so I'm working very small. So I guess I can put in some of my tips about drawing children that I haven't, I'm working on a child tutorial and I haven't finished it yet, so I'll put in some tips here about drawing children. Children are also a lot like little cute animals in that they are basically beans. They have a top bean or top ball and a lower ball, and then you connect them like that. Kids are very, very rounded and pretty androgynous, you know, up until a certain age when Mother Nature moves in. So everything's pretty flat and nondescript so far as gender dimorphic entities on the body, you know, like breasts and genitals and that sort of thing. Not really existent. And if you're not from Mars, you probably have realized that already. So let's find our plumb line here. So from the center of the neck down. So she's putting the weight on this foot the most in this image. Well, actually, so the heel, I was right. The heel would be about there. I was going that way. I swear I was going that way. So let's just straighten. Straighten that up. Put her little footy there. So I am lengthening her legs slightly, just to make sure that the size of her head is covered. And when I say that, it's not like, oh, she needs to have longer legs, sport that big old head. It's more of a balancing issue again. It's so humans are generally from like your waist up, or like I should say like your hips up are the same length from your hips down. So let's just draw a guy here real quick. So like from here up to here is about the same length as like from here to here. And depending on the kind of person you are and, you know, other little things, this usually tends to be a teens longer, but it can be like any configuration. I mean, you know, people are all different under the rainbow. But when you're doing like cartoon characters and stuff, unless it's part of a specific physical thing that you're trying to say or show, this shouldn't. Yeah, so I could even... Actually, let's do it from here. Yeah, I think that's actually about right. It's just her head's tilted down, so I'm like... And also, I think she has kind of big hair. We'll see when we get there. I'm not even doing the head yet, so... You know, I tell you, I've taken the last like 2 days off. I've kind of hit a little bit of an artist block, or just nothing's been, everything I've produced so far this weekend, I just didn't like any of it. But it's always nice to do Redline Tuesdays, because I feel like, I wouldn't say they necessarily inspire me, but I feel like I get a really good warm up, and I feel like, okay, now I can return to what I was doing for work or for my comics or whatever. Oops. Okay, I'm gonna do her head now. So this one, the face is quite a bit off, and I'm just sort of picking an angle here and going with it. So I apologize if this wasn't the artist's original intent for the composition, but I'm gonna go with it. We're gonna do it. Alright, turn that one off for a little bit here. Oh boy, I'm working really small. 300%. Go, go, go. Oh, I should have made this one a little bigger before I started working on it. Hindsight, though. You know, for this drawing, I would even close their eyes. That's just, again, that's like a preference thing. Like, I think it would look really cute if like they had their eyes closed. I'm not like trying to force artistic decisions on you though. When I was in school, I used to have professors who would like look at my stuff and they'd be like, "Oh, you should do this, 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 and this," and I'd be like, "Damn, man, I'm just trying to grasp the basics of a cylinder, let alone putting all that crap in a drawing." So I feel you if you're just like, if you hear me mention something about like, "Oh, you should do this in a drawing," and you're like, "Oh God, no, I don't even know how eyes work," you know, like, don't worry about it. It's just like it's me talking out loud. It's just a recommendation for the future if you're ever doing a drawing again that you feel is kind of similar and you're like, oh, okay. One thing I want to do is I have a preference for this crease right here of the cheek to the face to hit like right about the base of the eye. Again, this is like a preference. Whether this reflects true anatomy or not to a certain degree, I'm not sure. Probably, well, I don't know. I'm a human skull. I'm drawing a skull over here in my mind. Yeah, you know, I think that slice there actually is pretty accurate of real Truzy's human anatomy, but obviously much more exaggerated in this kind of a drawing style. Okay, let's turn the layer back on and let's do her hand. I'm actually going to draw it over the original and then move it into place so you can see how I'm so not too bad. It just needs to be moved back a little bit because of the length of the arm and everything. So and then just checking a few little things. Sorry, I got kind of quiet there. I was having a serious moment of contemplation. All right. Now, I realize that she looks a little exaggerated. The original was kind of like that, so I'm going to leave it like that. As for the placement of this other arm, I'm not sure where it's supposed to be in the original, but you could draw like her little fingers on the other arm, like wrapping around underneath the horse's jaw, just to show even more of a connection between the two of them. Let's put a little white under there, just kind of so we can see the okay. So I think we straightened some things out, mostly by moving the feet and the legs in a little bit. You know what? I also kind of want to add a little more to those eyes. Cool. I think this is very cute. Meh. Alright, so let's thank... Oop, we gotta flip it. I always forget to do that at the end. crazywolfgirl.deviantart.com. And that'll be it for this week. Cool. You got a twofer. You got two of them. 2 Redline Tuesdays and 1 Tuesday. That's so cool. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Bye.